this next part, crafting the application itself. This feels like where the rubber meets the road for a lot of groups. What are the key things? What's the secret sauce for making an application really stand out from the pile?
This is absolutely where those aha moments can happen.
Yeah.
Where you really turn a good idea into a funded project. And maybe the biggest secret lies in understanding exactly how your application is going to be reviewed. First, you've got to know your audience. Your application is going to be reviewed and scored by anonymous technical experts.
Anonymous, not the local person I just worked with.
Correct. These rankers, they have absolutely no prior knowledge of your specific project, your organization, or even the local issues happening in your region. That local biologist you work so closely with from September to October, they will not be scoring your application.
Wow, okay.
Which means, and this is critical, that you must write for an unfamiliar audience. Assume they know nothing. You have to provide all the necessary background, all the justification for everything you propose. Don't assume they know anything about Clearwater Lake or your group's fantastic track record. It all has to be in the application.
So no relying on insider knowledge or assuming they know the local context.
Right.
Everything has to be explicitly stated right there in the document.
Yeah.
What about extra attachments? I've seen groups sometimes add like their full lake management plan or other reports. Does that help?
That's a really crucial point, and it often surprises people. Only the required documents count toward your score. If you submit supplemental materials that weren't specifically asked for in the grant application, things like those full lake management plans, extra scientific reports, letters that aren't commitment letters, they simply will not be reviewed by the rankers.
Seriously, they just ignore them.
They get shaved off, is the term sometimes used during the intake process. They don't even make it to the reviewers.
Wow.
So you need to ensure all your important points, all the justification, is concisely included within the required application sections, like the narrative. Don't rely on attachments to make your case.
Okay, that is a huge time saver, honestly, for the applicant knowing that. And a critical piece of advice. Focus on the required parts. So how can applicants really nail the content in those required sections, especially knowing the reviewers are starting totally from scratch?
Okay, this is where the real power tool comes in. It's the ranking sheets. Appendix A of the official applicant guide contains the actual ranking sheets that the reviewers will use to score each project, broken down by the subprogram or grant type.
The actual score sheet, they just give them to you.
They do. Think of it like this. Most groups, they read the application instructions, right? Fill out the forms. But the groups whose applications really shine, they pull up Appendix A, those actual ranking sheets, right from day one of writing.
Oh.
It's literally like having the judge's scorecard right there in front of you as you write every single sentence. We have seen applications go from maybe to must fund just because the applicant meticulously addressed every single point on that score sheet.
That's incredible advice.
So we strongly encourage you, look at these sheets early in your drafting process, understand exactly what the DNR is looking for, and then when you think you're finished, self-rank your project using that sheet. Be honest with yourself. Oh, and one more thing, ranking sheets do get revised sometimes, so always make sure you're using the most recent version from the DNR website for that grant cycle.
So literally use the rubric their reviewers are using. Grade yourself before you submit. That feels like a game changer. Okay, so using those sheets, what are the common traits you see in those high-scoring applications, the ones that consistently get funded? What are the big boos?
Right. High-scoring applications, they definitely share several key characteristics, and they speak directly to those anonymous reviewers. First, they have a clearly articulated need. They don't just hint at a problem, they state it explicitly and provide strong, usually evidence-based justification for why this project is absolutely necessary right now. Second, they demonstrate broad external support. They show this isn't just, a lone wolf effort by one small group.
Right, not just Clearwater Lake acting alone.
Exactly. They show it fits into a larger, complementary management strategy happening within the watershed. Letters of commitment, especially ones detailing actual financial support or specific volunteer hours from partners, are highly valued. The strongest applications, they often work to satisfy multiple objectives and actively involve other groups. Collaboration is key.
So showing that broad coalition, that shared effort is really important. That makes a ton of sense. What else?
They also exhibit specificity and detail. Their plan of action isn't vague, it's detailed. It clearly shows the reviewers, hey, we know exactly what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and when.
Right.
There's clear complementary management. They explain how their project fits into that bigger puzzle of other management efforts already happening in the watershed. A good monitoring plan is almost always included. How will you know if you succeeded? How will you measure impact? and it should allow for adaptation if things need to change.
Okay, monitoring is key too.
Definitely. They also tend to propose broad-ranging approaches. Integrated management solutions usually score better than just trying to fix one small thing with a single tool. And finally, something that's maybe a superpower that helps everything else shine. Just being concise and well-written.
The writing itself matters.
It does. It's about balancing that need for detail and specificity with being clear and concise.